Lemon Nation, I'm Tara Setmayer, and welcome to this week's Setmayer Sound Off. Okay, so there was no way I wasn't going to talk about this absolute insanity and absurdity of the latest Trump administration scandal, Signalgate. Or maybe I should call it the next episode of, America's Dumbest Security Fails, Season 1. First of all, we had this Signal chat disaster, we've all read about it by now, where Trump's top officials accidentally added the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, into a group chat discussing really sensitive military operations in Yemen. You would think that after something like that's that asinine, that they'd be on high alert. But maybe put together a little refresher course on OPSEC for dummies or how not to leak national security information 101, I don't know. But you know what? That would require way too much competence. So have you heard the latest headlines? Okay, this is the news now. Venmo has entered the chat. Yes, the same app that you use to pay back your friends for Taco Tuesday or to pay your teenage babysitter on the weekends. Yeah, that app. Again, big shout out to Wired.com for the win. According to their latest report, it turns out that the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, he left his Venmo friends list public. All 328 of them. And who's on this illustrious list? Well, according to Wired, it's everyone from White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles to the National Security staffer Walker Barrett. And then there's a who's who of Trump world cronies. Quote, other accounts carry the names of a wide range of media figures from on-air personalities like Brett Baer and Brian Kilmeade of Fox News, shocker, and Brianna Keeler and Kristen Holmes of CNN to a cable news producer, a prominent national security reporter, local news anchors, documentarians, and noted conspiracy theorist Ivan Raiklin, who calls himself, quote, the Secretary of Retribution. And he once created a deep state target list. These are Mike Waltz's friends. Now, I'm no CIA operative, but even I know that broadcasting your entire inner circle on a public platform is basically an invitation to foreign intelligence agencies like, hey, Russia and Chinese spies, here's my network of contacts. Feel free to exploit at your leisure. But here's the kicker, okay? This Venmo fiasco, it stayed public until Wednesday afternoon. That's after the Signal chat scandal already made headlines. So it's kind of like realizing your house is on fire and then deciding, hey, might as well toss some more gasoline on it while we're here. This isn't embarrassing. It's dangerous. When top officials handle national security like reckless teenagers on TikTok, we should all be terrified. And by the way, if you have Venmo, you may want to check your privacy settings. Just saying. I did. But it doesn't end there, people. Another story, just reported out of the German publication Der Spiegel, and it was picked up here in the US. They claim that passwords and private information belonging to top national security officials in the Trump administration have been found online. Okay, in the stunning report published Wednesday, the paper says, quote, its journalists used commercial people search engines, along with hacked customer data that has been published on the web. So those whose information was compromised, and people included in this, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. So first the Signal scandal, where 18 top Trump officials were using an unsecured app to coordinate military operations on an app that the Pentagon literally warned against using. They warned against using Signal because our adversaries like Russia, China, Iran, they can easily exploit this. And now the password thing. These are the brilliant minds. They just went ahead planning military operations on an app best suited for gossiping about brunch. And shocker, now we find out some of them and their personal passwords were just floating around online. Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Mike Waltz. people handling our most sensitive national security matters, and they can't even protect their own freaking passwords. Make it make sense. A low-level staffer would be fired on the spot or worse for this kind of incompetence. But in Trump's cabinet, it's just another day that ends in Y. But the hypocrisy of all this is just off the charts. Do you remember 2016? I do. When Republicans were screaming about Hillary Clinton's emails? For years. Lock her up, calling her reckless and a national security threat. But now? If a Democratic Secretary of Defense had done this, Fox News would be running around nonstop yelling, treason! Lindsey Graham would be on his fainting couch, crying on the Senate floor, pearl clutching. House Republicans, they'd be calling for resignations or impeachments. But when it's their guy, shrug. But even some pro-Trump voices, yes, even those folks on the other side, they recognize what a mess this is. We're talking Brit Hume, Tommy Lahren, for God's sakes. Remember her? Even they're questioning the level of incompetence here. So when they're questioning it, you know it's bad. They're like, just admit it. Now, Trump's cabinet is filled with people unfit, completely unfit, no experience in their agencies, treating our government like some reality show. You know what? They're the real DEI hires, the didn't earn it people. Let's break it down. Pete Hegseth, let's remind folks, the Secretary of Defense. He's a freaking former Fox News commentator cosplaying as the Secretary of Defense with zero experience running the largest, most powerful military in the world. Same guy who proudly announced that he doesn't wash his hands because germs aren't real. He said that. The guy also ran 2 veterans organizations into the ground financially. Oh, and then there's the serial philanderer thing, the credibly accused of sexual assault thing, where he paid off one of his accusers to stay silent. Now this is the guy responsible for our national defense. His qualifications? He looks good on TV. His behavior? Who gives a shit? Who cares? He looks good on TV. But let's not forget about the drinking. Concerns were raised during his confirmation hearings about that as well. And now, given his latest national security debacle here with the Signal chat, some members of Congress are asking questions. Was he drinking while he made these critical national security decisions? Check out this exchange during the House Intel Committee hearing yesterday between Democratic Congressman Gomez from California and the CIA Director Radcliffe about this. Watch this.
The main person who was involved in this thread that a lot of people want to talk to is Secretary of Defense Hegseth. And a lot of questions were brought up regarding his drinking habits in his confirmation hearing. To your knowledge, do you know whether Pete Hegseth had been drinking before he leaked classified information?
I don't have any knowledge of Secretary Hegseth's personal habits.
Director Radcliffe, same question. Yes or no?
You know, no, I'm going to answer that. I think that's an offensive line of questioning. The answer is no. I find it interesting that you want to...
I'm
going to answer. You asked me a question. Do you want an answer?
No, listen.
You don't want to focus on the good work that the CIA is doing, that the intelligence community...
Director, I reclaim my time. Director, I reclaim my time. Here, I have huge respect for the CIA, huge respect for our men and women in uniform. But this was a question that's on the top of minds of every American, right? He stood in front of a podium in Europe holding a drink. So, of course, we want to know if his performance is compromised.
Given the guy's history, sorry, not an outrageous concern. Thou doth protest too much, Mr. Radcliffe. Then you have Tulsi Gabbard, okay? She's now the DNI. She's more comfortable spreading Russian propaganda on international TV than actually doing any kind of diplomacy or work in intelligence. Our allies are straight up questioning if they can even trust the United States anymore. I get it. Don't even get me started about Kash Patel, okay, over there at the FBI, the conspiracy theorist who peddles disinformation and is a Trump sycophant. Now he has access to the FBI. What could go wrong there? Or RFK Jr., over at Health and Human Services. He's going to kill us all, okay? He's an anti-vaccine activist. He's running around telling people all kinds of crazy stuff because, you know, nothing says public health like a guy who thinks Wi-Fi causes cancer or whatever. And then there's John Ratcliffe, the CIA director. This is a guy so unqualified, he withdrew from consideration as the director of national intelligence the last time around in Trump 1.0 because he got caught padding his resume. But now, well, he's got the keys to the CIA. Guys, this isn't a government. This is like a third-rate version of the Hunger Games meets Celebrity Apprentice. And while Trump's apologists are trying to make excuses for this mess, I'm glad to see that more Democrats are pushing back, especially those who served in the military, and they know what a massive fuck-up all of this has been. I want to give credit to Representative Jason Crow from Colorado. This guy has been kicking ass and taking names all week long, especially during the hearings. But yesterday, he was also on Fox News and took it to Will Cain. Now, this guy is a former Army Ranger, and he served multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He knows what he's talking about, and he's proudly served his country, unlike many of these MAGA propagandists out here. Watch this.
I have spent my life in service to this country. I have taken the oath of office, which you have never taken, by the way, to put my life on the line to defend this country. And I went to a war in Iraq. I went to a war in Afghanistan twice. I have stood up time and time again to defend this nation. And I've seen my friends give their lives for this country. So do not tell me that I don't have real national security concerns, and I will not, every single night before I go to bed, every night, ask myself one simple question. Am I keeping faith with the men and women who I have a solemn obligation to keep faith, our sons, our daughters, our brothers, our sisters, that we're asking right now, where we're sitting here in the comfort of our offices and under the Capitol Dome, to go and fight for us?
I gotta leave it.
Are we keeping faith for them?
Congressman,
that is the simple question all of us must ask.
This is where I'm going to leave it, okay?
Good for him, and God bless him for his service. So while Trump's cabinet clowns are out here wrecking our credibility in national security, you still have Elon Musk and his Doge jerks showing us exactly what happens when unqualified people take over critical institutions. We're not going to forget about them because they're still out here. His teenage fanboys are still snooping through private user data, making up policies on the fly, mass firing people illegally. Does all this sound familiar? Well, it's the same MAGA playbook. No accountability, no oversight, just reckless self-serving chaos. And now, oh yeah, they're coming for Social Security. Mark my words, people. The folks who worked their entire lives could suddenly see their Social Security checks delayed, their benefits miscalculated. Oh well, tough shit. Why? Because Trump's cost-cutting replacement, cost-cutting replacements have taken out the administrators with political loyalists. And these people don't give a shit about the American people, and they have no clue what's going on or what they're doing. Why should the American people tolerate any of this? Our troops are at risk. Our global standing is crumbling. They're dismantling our institutions that actually keep this country functioning and safe. And for what? Trump's power trip? A never-ending grift to line his pockets and the pockets of his billionaire backers? But here's the thing. People are waking up, and I'm here for it. The energy at town halls across the country, it's shifting. And even some of the MAGA diehards, like I said, they're looking around and they're saying, wait a minute, wait. Is this what I signed up for? They wanted strength, they wanted competence, they wanted stability, economic, Yeah, but instead, what did they get? They got this traveling circus. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So, will this fracture MAGA? I don't know, but will Democrats finally seize the moment? Time will tell. But what is clear is this: America deserves better than this cabinet full of didn't earn it DEI hires. And the voters are finally starting to notice. All right, folks, that's it. That's this week's Setmayer Sound Off. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you would like to see more of me. Check me out at my Substack, Uncompromised, or on Thursdays at 7:30 live on my show, The Stakes, with the Seneca Project and my co-founder, Michelle Kinney. Make sure you like and subscribe to Lemon Nation, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.